President Trump said that the deal was close, only for the sides to remain far apart.
Subtitles by Dima Torzak.
Another assassination attempt on the President of the United States, Donald Trump, which ended in failure. The U.S. Secret Service reported that on the previous Saturday evening, an unknown person took a weapon out of a bag and started shooting near the White House. Secret Service agents shot and killed the gunman. During the shootout, a bystander was also wounded and is in serious condition. And later it turned out that the shooter believed he was Jesus Christ and was convinced he was committing a righteous act. But he didn't just think he was Jesus. I'll tell you in the episode who else he thought he was. And notably, the attacker, 21-year-old Nasir Best, had already had multiple encounters with the Secret Service and had a documented history of mental illness. So what exactly happened the day before near the White House? Let's go over all the details that are now known and out in the open. I'm Alexei Pecci, let's discuss this topic. But before we start, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this episode, and leave a detailed comment on this video. I will be very grateful to you for this. And besides, subscribe to my Telegram channel Pecci News. The link to it is in the description of this video. There we publish breaking news as it comes in.
Korespondentów Białego Domu znowu mamy do czynienia z sytuacją, gdy ktoś sięga po broń i musi interweniować Secret Service i znowu to wiadomo o tym wypadło.
So, on Saturday evening, there was another shooting near the White House in Washington. This incident happened just a month after the shooting at the White House Correspondents Association dinner on April 24, which was attended by President Donald Trump at the time. The President of the United States responded on his social network, Truth Social, praising the Secret Service for their prompt and professional actions. Here is a quote from Trump. This event happened a month after the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and it shows how important it is for all future presidents to ensure the safest and most secure space of this kind ever built in Washington. The national security of our country requires it. Trump wrote this, most likely referring to the construction of a ballroom or reception hall in the White House that began during his term. And I'll digress a little. I remember how supporters of American President Donald Trump assured me in the comments under my videos that I didn't understand, that actually the ballroom was being built with donor money. It's the sponsors who are funding this construction, and not a single penny is taken from the budget. Not a cent of taxpayers' money is allocated for the construction of the ballroom. And then suddenly a scandal breaks out about how Donald Trump's administration is trying to get at least $1 billion of US taxpayers' money for the construction of the ballroom. They are trying to push for the Treasury to simply allocate just $1 billion for American President Donald Trump's whims. That's why I always urge, before making any statements, try to double-check them at least twice. So, double-check twice. And then write about how Donald Trump supposedly doesn't use any budget money at all for building the ballroom. And events surrounding the shooting unfolded quite quickly. Inside the White House, reporters were ordered to stay in place, and Secret Service agents were shouting, "Get down!" warning about gunshots. A U.S. Secret Service representative later said the agency is investigating the reports about gunshots at the corner of 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue, right outside the White House complex. Later, it turned out that up to 30 shots were fired near the White House. An armed man approached Secret Service agents and unsuccessfully opened fire on them. The agents returned fire. Агенты открыли ответные. As a result of the confrontation, 2 people were shot. One of them was the shooter, and the other was a bystander who ended up in serious condition. A little later, the Secret Service confirmed in an official statement that after 6:00 p.m. on Saturday, a person in the area of 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue pulled a weapon from his bag and started shooting. According to the Secret Service, they had earlier returned fire, wounding the suspect. He was taken to a local hospital where he was later pronounced dead. The statement also clarified that Donald Trump was at the White House during the incident. No Secret Service personnel were injured. It was later reported that the suspect was identified as 21-year-old Nasir Best. He had previously had an encounter with the Secret Service, including in June 2025 when he blocked the driveway to the White House. A month later, the Secret Service arrested Nasir Best again after he tried to drive onto the driveway to the White House complex. After that, a judge issued an order requiring him not to approach the White House grounds. And during the investigation of these incidents last year, investigators discovered that Best had been posting various statements on social media, including claiming that he was the real Osama bin Laden. He said, "You actually killed someone else. I am the real Osama bin Laden." And at least once he made a post indicating his desire to harm Donald Trump. And in a number of other posts, he called himself Jesus Christ, claiming that his mission was to eliminate the leadership. But the police had not previously encountered this suspect behaving aggressively or using weapons. In other words, he was unruly, but not dangerous. I should note that this incident happened less than a month after the shooting at the White House Correspondents Association dinner, which was attended by Donald Trump at the time. That was at the end of April. In the lobby of the Washington Hilton Hotel, where the White House Correspondents Association dinner was taking place in the ballroom one floor below, shots were fired. And at that moment, the President of the United States, First Lady Melania Trump, and Vice President J.D. Vance were urgently escorted out of the hall by security personnel. And according to officials, security personnel engaged in a shootout with the suspected attacker and neutralized him. Police reported that he had 2 firearms as well as knives. The attacker turned out to be 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen. Later, he was charged with attempted murder of the President of the United States, assaulting a federal officer with a weapon, and transporting a firearm across state lines with the intent to commit a serious crime. And in addition, let me remind you that Donald Trump experienced several assassination attempts during the 2024 election campaign. I'll leave it at that. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments below this episode. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like. If you want to support the work of this YouTube channel, you can do so with any donation using the links and details in the description of this video or by using the QR code on your screens. That's all for now. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye, everyone.